Hello. Hello and welcome to our Tuesday evening Shelf This discussion.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Martine was able to join me. It turns out this was a terrible time for everybody but me, which is fine. I hope that people still continue and finish the book if they haven't, or watch this back if they did finish it. And I really want your opinions because you partially know why. But today we're discussing My Friends by Fredrik Backman, which was actually my pick. I got to pick a book for my own book club
This way.
for like the third time ever.
Yeah.
Each time I'm like, I'd like to redeem myself. I would like to really get that 5-star for myself and for everybody else. And we'll find out what happened there here in a second. Hello, Ruby. I wasn't sure if you were making it here at all or just not to face. So I'm glad that you're here. Hello, welcome. I have to consider synopsizing this book. Is that a word?
Yes.
Oh, good job, Bailey. Fredrik Backman is like one of my favorite authors, so I was really excited to get to push this. And also, it is a goal of mine to read 2025 releases this year. So that was another reason I really needed to push this, because this came out this year. But this specific book is about a group of friends when they were teenagers, and we're getting like the past and present when they're older. But we're also mainly following a girl who's actually just meeting a couple of the friends and they're telling her. One specific one is telling her about their friendship and why the summer when they were 14 was so important. And she has a painting. That's what I got from this. That's my synopsis after reading.
So I was going to say one thing that I would emphasize in the synopsis is the same way that like Northwoods was about a piece of land. This book was about a piece of art.
I also couldn't synopsize Northwoods. I understood this more than I understood Northwoods.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Would you rate the book? No. No.
It did come up a lot.
It did. But okay, fine. Yeah, tell me what you rated it.
I rated it 4 stars.
Yeah. And I also warned you that I gave it 2 stars.
Yeah. And a number of people DNF'd it, including Ruby.
They did, but I want to say, I feel like Ruby and Lizzie would be people that I still would have recommended this to after reading it. So I want to know what Lizzie ends up rating it. I know Ruby didn't finish it. Ruby, how far did you get? A long convo in DMs with Danielle about why we hated this. Tell me why. Because I do still like his writing. I do think that it wasn't the strongest example of that here. But I do like the way... I understand the conversation about, like, he's trying to, like, say something important or, like, quotable in every sentence. But I also remind myself that it's translated.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering... This might be the stupidest thing I've ever said out loud.
Okay.
Like, partially if it's lost in translation, but also, like, in other languages, people just speak, like, more straightforward.
Okay.
Does that make sense, what I'm trying to say?
Yes, but I don't think he was being straightforward.
Okay, then what I'm trying to say isn't coming across, and that's okay. I think straightforward is not the word I should be using either. The writing was so bad. Interesting to me. Did you listen to it also? Because somebody said something about, like, on an audiobook, it just hurts kind of bad.
I think Elsa said that.
Mm.
And then Danielle agreed.
Mm. Okay, that's fine. I mean, obviously, I didn't like this one particularly either. I liked Decently Anxious People, but I love the Beartown series, and I love the way Home gets longer and longer. There's more to that title than that. You know the one I'm talking about? It's like a short novella. I didn't like A Man Called Ove. I've read more than that. Frederick. But I did say before going into this that I have loved and disliked books by him. Maybe that is all I've read.
Can I say something about the writing?
Yeah, I would love you to.
Okay. For me, I agree the writing was really hard to get into, and I would say the first quarter of it, which Ruby is what you read, I was having trouble keeping up with the writing because I felt like he would say something and then he was like talking about something else that was related, but then we'd go right back to the action, and that took a while for my brain to adapt to. By the end, I feel like I didn't notice the writing. It's not that I enjoyed the writing by the end, I just didn't notice it. And so I think my brain got used to it, and after that, it wasn't a problem for me.
I feel like I just knew his writing style going into it. And so this being like a bad representation, I maybe was just like,
yeah.
I would agree that I did think that this read as YA, mostly because we are, for the most part, like in Louisa's POV, or like getting her view on things. And I will say, I did not care about this piece of art, or like, I feel like what you want from what this was trying to be is the like, you wanted to feel a connection of the friend group, and I just wasn't.
Oh, interesting. Because for me, I felt the connection among the friend group. I didn't feel connected to them because they're like not my type of people, but I liked them because I could see their connection to one another and understand it. Like I understood why they fit together. They just wouldn't fit with me.
I get what you're saying. I'm just deciding if I agree.
You don't have to. I'm just telling you.
I think they wouldn't fit with me and they didn't fit together. I don't know. This is interesting to me because I would be interested to know if the ones I like are different or the same.
Yeah.
What else did I think about this? That's the real question.
Okay, well, how did you feel about our main character?
I didn't care.
Okay.
Again, like someone that I was like, this is not a person that I have interest. I don't relate to anything like her. It was hard for me. I think that's my main issue with the whole book, is like I didn't feel connected to the main character or this group that she was learning about, or the art aspect.
Yeah. I think let me try to put this into words.
Yeah, please do.
For me, I related to their sense of like loss of people, not in a way that like I related in a death standpoint, but in a like losing people over time type of way, and the way you think back on your time together and who you are around different people and how that's different from who you are other places, connected to that, and the idea that there can be a person who makes the world just look so much better than it is, and then you lose that person and the world goes back to looking as terrible as it did before. And I feel like that's what Louisa was experiencing with Fish, and that's what Ted was experiencing with Kim, also known as the artist.
Right.
And so I understood that about them. I also would say a lot of my friends growing up had very serious like sadness about them, and difficulties at home and mental health issues.
Yeah.
And so I understand the feeling of friends like trying to hold their friends
Yeah.
together during adolescence. And to me, like that brought me back and it made me care about the characters because I was like, even though they're freaking weirdos and they're making weird choices, I can tell that they're loving each other in that way that keeps
Yeah.
them together.
I agree
And I
with that.
love that.
I
Because this was really just a group of kids. They like all desperately needed to have people.
Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying, but I think again, my issue was the like not having the same experience. Like I
Yeah.
did not have like a group of friends in school like at that time and I also this just came into my brain that what I was thinking is that I think a lot of people have do have like a longing to go back to like that specific age that the friend group is when we're learning about them that summer or whatever. And like me specifically, like that was a nightmare age for me. Like I have no sense of like longing to go back to being 14.
It's interesting that you mentioned that though, because in some ways, although they longed to be together, they did not long to be 14 again because a lot of what we found out was that their lives were kind of terrible then. And the
Yeah.
only good things they had were their times on the pier.
Well, it seems like also their lives are kind of terrible now.
Yeah, but at least before they had each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Also the concept that I did like was we keep going through and it keeps being brought up. I'm not being good with words tonight, I'm sorry. The concept of you don't need a good life, but you just need like the one
Your moment.
when you die, you live like your best moment forever.
Yeah.
But they were all saying that theirs was when they were 14.
Not because they were
I
14.
know, but because they were friends, but then I wasn't feeling the connection of the friendship that hard.
Yeah.
Kinda in that vein, I felt from just what I read that this was a book written for teens who are, like, mad at the world. Yeah, I can see that hitting harder. I don't know though, because to me, if you're 14 reading this, the concept and I used to hate this, like, when I was younger, people being like, these are gonna be the best days of your life," and I was like, "Please get me out of this hell."
Mhm.
That same concept of, like, a 14-year-old reading this and being like, "Oh, these people just grew up to be miserable adults also."
Mhm.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't know.
I also this is another thing that I liked about it. And because you didn't like A Man Called Ove, this is
Mm.
another point against it, was that Ted was kind of a persnickety character, which Frederick Bachman writes well, and Louisa kind of brought some more energy in his life by being annoying,
I
frankly.
do find that so interesting because you're right about how Frederick Bachman writes it. I don't like, but that's, like, one of my favorite things ever, usually.
Yeah.
Like, I love a grumpy old man, but not when Frederick Bachman writes it.
I like it when Frederick Bachman writes it. So I think that was just a point in its favor for me and a point against it for you in this case.
Yeah, that is interesting to me.
Because that's one thing that I was noticing. Frankly, like even when I've read short stories by Frederick Bachman, it's like we have one unhappy character.
Yeah.
Then some crazy people come into their lives and they realize, wow, life could be so vibrant with others in it. And I feel like we got that again.
And I guess the ones that I like by Frederick Bachman are more like when he writes sentimental stuff.
Yeah. Do you not feel like this was sentimental?
I feel like I didn't care by the end. Like, I just even the concept of, like, she's one of us,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Like, I get it, but just, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
This sounds like I'm just like was not set up to like this, but I've actually been reading a lot and liking books lately.
Yeah.
I do think it was the book problem.
I really don't know how to defend it right now because like the things that worked for me just didn't work for you. And so that's
I know. No, because everything you say, I'm like, no, I completely get what you're saying. Just for some reason, I felt so disconnected.
And oh, I will also say this is like a point in its favor too, right? Like I've just come back to school after being home for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I have left all of my friends. I am now here all alone.
Yeah.
And so there is a part of me right now that really does relate to the like, I miss my friends. Days were better when I was around my friends.
Yeah.
Type energy.
I'm thinking too that I wonder if the whole disconnect was because of the like writing structure of somebody telling a story.
Mhm.
I feel like we start by just getting her and then she meets the artist and then ends up with Ted.
Mhm.
Like if that was almost like too jarring. Like I think I almost would have liked the story better if we just were like following the artist as the main character and then did like a person jump.
I do think that's one of the things that made it hard to get into at first was it almost felt like I was reading a short story at the beginning. Okay, there's this
Yeah.
she goes to see it for the first time. She meets this dude in the alley. She thinks he's like just a man who's living in the alley. Turns out it's the artist. And then when on his deathbed, he grants her this painting that she spent her whole life looking forward to seeing. Okay, that was the story. Then she gets put with Ted because she's like, what do I do with this painting? And they discuss like the whole history of the painting, and that's the 3/4 of the book. And so it felt like two separate stories that were related, but like didn't fit all together.
Yeah. There's just so many things that happened that I didn't care about. Like again, her being like, I don't want the painting and I'm coming with you was just like, I don't know if I care about this plot line. And then also when they got off the train and got like mugged, I was like, I don't really care. Not that I don't care, but like, this isn't what I want from this story right now. Like, why are we breaking from like what's happening here?
For me, that was very much a moment of like, okay, this is kind of a test. Either their relationship is going to make it through her deciding to run away and her, or it's not, right? And she expects it to not because nobody else has stood by her like that except Fish. Fish is gone now, so no one will ever be like that again. So she's like, I'm going to leave and I'm not going to be a problem to him anymore because obviously he's annoyed. And I think there is something to say about like love and affection for a person who drives you batty, right? Like,
yeah, no, I get it. But like, oh, I'm gonna go get her. I can't let her.
Yeah, and
but then like, I like him getting off the train to do that and what that created.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they needed to get mugged.
How else were they going to miss the train?
I don't know.
And also then she had to rescue him, which was a moment of like he went for her, but it's also proving that like he needs her too.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say the taxi driver was just a really random secondary character. But they did have some good discussions in the taxi while they were chasing the train. Really, I don't know if you know that happened. They were on a train for a good long while. They were not on the train anymore. They missed the train, but they left everything on the train, including the painting and ashes. They left it, so they were chasing the train in a car. And they ran into a woman they'd helped before. She had the painting and stuff, but she had thrown away the ashes. Eventually they get them back, but that was a like for me.
And I feel like Ted was pretty like, oh, okay.
I did not feel that way about his response. I feel like his world was ending. Like he was trying to keep it together for the people around him, but I did feel that he was losing it.
Okay. Right, like outwardly he was trying to be like, oh no, it's fine, you got the important stuff. But inwardly, he was like,
yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that.
And then I think the thing that really tied it together for me, well, two things, was one, how they get the painting into the museum, right? Like they break into the museum.
Okay, yeah. That was kind of like a full circle, like back to Louisa being.
Well, I mean, like the story from back when they were 14.
Yeah.
Of them breaking in and leaving this painting there.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, that's what they decided to do with the painting. I really like that. And then Louisa going and like basically following what the artist did all those many years ago.
And nobody knows how the painting got there. Nobody knows who left it.
They need better.
The photo at the end of the person who's like, I lost the number of who I sold this to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I read a book and I don't understand it. And I feel like that's the vibe I'm giving by discussing this. And I definitely understood it. I just didn't connect to it.
I didn't connect with you.
Yeah.
No, that's the vibe you're giving right now.
Because I feel like Northwoods, I would say I didn't fully understand.
Mm-hmm.
This, I just didn't fully like.
Yeah, and that's fine.
It makes me so mad.
Yeah,
I picked it.
But also, this is the history now. Is like you pick a book for this, you hate it, I give it 4 stars.
I am the curse.
And I'll always be there to give it 4 stars.
Thanks, bestie. Can't say the same for your picks.
That's okay.
I liked some.
No, you didn't.
I don't remember offhand what 3 you've picked.
Oh, you liked The Anomaly, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think I did like that one.
But you didn't like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and you didn't
No,
like
that was bad.
Okay, it was good. You just didn't like it.
That one was bad.
Anyway.
I feel nostalgic for Shelf This lately too, because it is fun to go back and see what everyone's picked. And it's just been so long now.
Yeah. So maybe in 10 years, if you can imagine this book as being about a summer when you were 21, then you can look back on this fondly.
Yeah, true. I really have no other thoughts. I'm just mad that I think I was in it until probably 70% where I was I don't think this is going where I want it.
Yeah.
The impact isn't building enough. The connection to the characters wasn't building enough.
Yeah. I did just have a thought. I'm sorry, I keep pointing tonight, but that's where I'm at now.
I'm right here.
So you were mentioning earlier that you didn't feel the connection between the friend group.
Mm-hmm.
And although I felt a connection between them, and maybe I'm getting the same read for you, they didn't really fit together. Jor and that girl.
Mm-hmm.
They both had the same weird vibe, but then they had a different vibe from the artist and Ted. But for me, that was one thing that I really liked about it, was that in some ways, they seemed like they shouldn't fit, but they loved each other so desperately regardless. And I did love that about them.
Again, I recognize what you're seeing there.
Yeah.
It just didn't work for me.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, because I think that's different from what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
It was just another thought that I had and wanted to.
I like your thoughts.
Something that I liked. Thanks for liking my thoughts. Oh, dang. Ruby's really going after him.
Ruby, have you read No Other Frederick Backman? Martine, remind me which ones you have read.
I've read A Man Called Ove, and I've read his short story, The Answer is No, and that might be it.
Interesting. I genuinely think it's been so long since I've read it, and I haven't read like the newest one because it like has continually been added onto as a series. But I genuinely think that Beartown is good.
Yeah, I have the first book and I'll read it eventually, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
So I like want to encourage Ruby to like try one of the ones I've actually liked, as I'm also like I didn't like this one, but I feel like I lost her trust here. I really need to know what Lizzie ends up thinking because I feel like Lizzie could love this. Can you tell me what the rant was? Here or in private?
Involves spoilers.
Oh, yeah. Message me privately because I would like to know like what specifically she was complaining about. That book is very heavy topic.
I also just wanted to bring up something that you had said to me privately, Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
For one reason this book did not work for you is you don't care about art.
Yeah, I don't.
And I had said I don't care about visual art, which is what a lot of this was about. Yeah.
The concept of they were trying to save this physical thing, or like this physical thing was worth so much money. Like obviously I appreciate like the creativity and like, but I had said also to you in that same conversation of like, I would never go like walk through a museum and be like, wow, these paintings. Like I understand it's hard work. I appreciate what it is, but it's not something that I personally was like into.
Yeah.
Okay. Just that the writing was bad.
I could not picture in my mind, granted, I'm not good at that anyway, but I could not picture in my mind what the painting would look like because they were like, it was all ocean. But then if you actually looked at it, you could see.
I know. And I kept, because I had the dust jacket on, I kept being like, this must be, the cover must be the painting. And then I would go back and look at this and be like, no, it's not.
It's not.
It's not what they're describing at all. To me, it is like, right, like mostly ocean and you see the pier, but then there's like people sitting on the pier because then we're told that there's like some flowers there.
Yeah, but they're like, like only people who've really looked at it have noticed there are people. And I'm like, what? How did you miss that? I don't know.
I do feel like that is a big thing of like writing a book about something like that. Like it should have existed for our eyeballs to see.
But even though that did irk me that I like couldn't figure out what he was talking about, I did like the idea when they were like, you're not in the painting, when the artist was like, I'm everything else. I don't know. There was something about that was like angsty in a way that
I was just gonna say it's a little like, yeah, angsty is the right word.
Yeah. It was angsty in a way that I appreciated, but could understand why others would not.
I just know he was trying to write longing, and I didn't feel the longing.
Yeah.
I
can't decide if it's because I had a base longing there.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Or what. Because I did like when I read it in 3 days, and I started it like the day after I'd had the conversation where it was like, I'm really lonely. And then I started this book. So I think I was maybe prepared.
I know. I'm thinking like way too deep right now and nobody needs to answer this. But back to the like, when you die, you get your best moment.
Yeah.
Like, or like even your best day.
Yeah.
Like what do you think that would be? You don't actually have to answer that, but I've just been thinking about it because it was like a thing in this book. Because like I said, I don't think mine at all would be any time in my teens.
My favorite part about that question and like conceptualizing it is something that like they said in the book where they were like, do you have a moment like that? And they had said millions, even though these people have really cool lives. And I think that really helps me reframe my life in some ways. Yeah. Can you identify moments like that? And then I realize how many moments I can think of. Like, oh, actually, like I've been living a great life with all of these moments. Like I couldn't pick between these moments.
I think I like to think I'm someone too when like good things are happening that I'm good about like being there and being like this is such a good thing. But
Mhm,
obviously like nobody's that good about it.
mhm.
And back to another conversation that we were having today about because I was very much like, what do I even like that isn't spending money? Because I
Yeah,
was trying to think of a reward system for something. And it's like, so what are the things I like to do that aren't spending money? Or like if I needed to create a really good day for myself,
yeah,
obviously you pull from things that were good days before.
yeah. Because I definitely
I
I feel
love,
like I have millions of those moments.
yeah.
Not because every day of my life I've been like, "This is so great," but just because when I do think about it that way, I'm like, "Wow," like, yeah.
This is bad, and also because of the stage of life I'm in, I'm like, I love doing things alone. And
Mhm,
I used to like so often on the weekends, like take a Saturday or Sunday and like go drive out of town purposely, like for no reason, and just like shop around, have something to eat,
mhm,
like just to like by myself.
mhm.
Cause like Chris and I have been together forever. And
Correct.
like I really enjoy like going to do things by myself so bad. I recently read 2 other books about painting, and those books did beautifully capture the essence of art and paintings. And
Yeah,
this is
my thing was I feel like this book wanted to be about art, or maybe it didn't. It was really about a specific angsty feeling.
I think it was the angsty feeling is was probably the original concept.
Right.
Also the concept of like because he's done this before, what is that book called? And every day the what way home gets longer and longer.
Yeah.
Is also kind of somebody else telling a story to somebody,
Mhm.
which is like probably why I think that his original idea for this was Ted telling the story to Louisa about his friends.
Yeah. I think if I read this wanting it to be about painting, I would think it was terrible.
I also think if we would have gotten more about even like before the artist died, a little bit more of the Ted and his relationship could have made that like strong connection
Mhm.
for me.
Yeah, I do get that, and I wish I had seen more, but for me, it's not because I didn't, like, feel the connection fully. In fact, that connection really hurt, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think I think we should talk about what I want to say. It's also like alluded to like were they in love or were they
Mhm.
just friends? And I think that like also taking that step to saying that they like were in love was like purposely excluded. And
Yeah.
I like that, but I could have used a little bit more of like their angst.
Mhm.
Like you're so important to me.
Yeah, I agree.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know, but I did, like, there was a whole story in my head about it.
I'm sorry.
No, like,
Like what you thought about their relationship over the years?
not over the years, I would say, but, like, where they ended up,
Hmm.
at least. And
It brings me back to when we read the friendship book, the nonfiction friendship book. What was that called?
the other significant others.
Yeah. Of like I think because in the end it is painted so much as like they were each other's person,
Yeah.
like regardless of if it was romantic relationship or not. That like I don't know, like I said, I could have used a little bit more of like their living together dynamic at the end and
Mhm.
a profession of like you're so important to me. Like I know that they knew that and felt that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. There was something about the connection between Ted and the artist and this won't make any sense to you, Bailey, but I just lost the cap to my pen. But it will make sense to Ruby. Not in the way that it was written, it's not written as well as this, but there was something about their dynamic that did remind me of Fitz and the Fool. In a way. And maybe that's a delusional thing on my part.
But I give both of those books 2 stars.
Yeah.
Well,
you give lots of books 2 stars, so I don't think that says anything.
I will say my 2-star streak was quite a few years ago. Feels
in the way for me that it was like the quote, like I would never put limits on my love for you. That vibe.
Okay. That's all I have to say about my friends.
Okay.
I think that my friends are much better than...
Oh, I agree. I would not get along with these people.
Friend group.
I'm so glad I don't know them in real life. But I liked their story.
Sure. Next month we're reading Blood Over Bright Haven.
Blood Over Bright Haven, yes.
Am I in the correct month? Okay. Yeah. Which will be a total vibe shift.
Correct.
And another one that I think may have widespread ratings and feelings. I just keep saying because it's like one of Danielle's favorite authors, and I've previously DNF'd the author.
Yes, you have.
That I'm interested to get there. Me too, honestly. Like, I feel bad showing up like this where I'm just like, can't tell you why I didn't like it. It just didn't work.
What was the last Shelf This book that I gave 2 stars? Let me look.
Please do.
But I be reading so many terrible books all the time.
I know that they even out, but I would like to, maybe I should.
Not that long ago, because I put The Goblin Emperor out of my mind. I gave that 2.5 stars.
Oh, let me actually put my rating in for this, because Lizzie has a spreadsheet up where it doesn't average until I do mine.
Oh,
nothing happens. Since I have to read them all, there's something with her function that it doesn't average till I do mine.
Yeah, we're the only 2 that have finished, so I even do that.
I would like to, since I'm thinking about it, go through all of my ratings and figure out like what my average rating is, because we've read, oh my god,
so
41 many books. We've read 41 books for Shelf This.
You've read 41 books for Shelf.
Well, yeah.
Once, I will say, pat me on the back, once I got access to a better library, I haven't stopped since.
Yeah, I feel like you're always here. Well, thank you, and I appreciate you, and I love you. Yeah, that just amazes me. I already said that once this live show, just like how long this has been going on. But I do be reading all of them.
Yeah, we've been around the block.
Some sketchy blocks, some beautiful blocks, but some really sketchy blocks you guys have walked me down.
And you some of them too.
I'm personally bad at this, okay? I'm sorry to everyone. I'll do better next time. Although I thought this was the one. Like, when I picked this, I really was like, I'm doing something here.
You even cleared it with me, and I was like, yeah.
I was like, this is the best idea I've ever had. 2 stars. Embarrassing. Embarrassing.
In some ways, that's why it's great for me that I always randomly pick something, like, didn't have something in mind.
No, you just have to spit something out.
Just say something, and then it hurts less when I'm terribly wrong.
When you're not, like, personally invested in it, like I felt in this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to get them all to read one of my favorite authors.
Yeah. Well, because, not to throw you under the bus, but you were like, nobody's liking the book I chose, and then you texted me and you were like, I don't like the book I chose.
I don't like it. It's like where you were waiting for the like, I don't think I like my favorite author. And you're waiting for the like, oh, I think I'm really starting to like it. Like, no, I was like, I think I don't like it either.
And meanwhile, I was just like, I thought it was good.
I like know it's gonna be over a year until I get to choose again, but I'm like, how can I fix this?
Oh yeah, your rating is bad, Bailey.
My average?
Yeah.
Okay, but you have to think that I read all of them, so even the ones that I'm like, I absolutely would never enjoy this in my life, I stick it through.
The only ones that I haven't read were ones I didn't have access to. Whether or not I thought I would like them, I did read them. So
Wait, my average is a 3.01.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's bad.
I mean, like, if that was my average rating for, like, everything I read in a
Quit
year,
reading.
but for, like, people making me read things out of my comfort zone, I don't think that's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine's 3.53.
Yeah, nobody's lower than me. Rena's is a 5-star because she's only read 2 books with us and rated them 5 stars. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Love
Wow.
it.
Interesting data here. Thanks for doing that, Ruby.
Yeah, thank you, Ruby, so much. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about in the Discord, it's linked. I tried to like periodically remind people that it exists.
It's in the #infodump channel.
Yeah, a spreadsheet in which every book we've picked is on there, and anyone who wants to add their name to a column can and put their ratings in. You don't have to have read the book with us. If you're like, oh, I've read this in the past, you can also enter your rating.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason Rena has said she read The Handmaid's Tale, because we did not know her when we read The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh my gosh. Literally, this has been existing for too many years. That's my pride and joy, my baby. I love rating things 2 stars. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, on that note, we'll see you next month. I saw that I do have the last weekend of the month off of work, so I will try to convince Danielle that we should discuss Blood Over Brighthaven the last weekend in September. You heard it here first. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, toodaloo.